Dice a che ora dice la lidica?
Blow down, facing that way. Yeah. Stand up, facing that way behind the flag man. Okay?
This evening, and as they go round, you can see the championship points on the board. Christophe Bouchieu and Javier Masson on top of the pile after that win last time out in Monza and a good result at the previous round in Silverstone. Then it's Britain's Ryan Sharp sharing the 33 car with Carl Wendlinger, Michael Bartels, Andrea Bertolini for Maserati. Then it's our homegrown team Gigaway with Philip Peter and Alan Simonson at the wheel, Alex Negrão and Miguel Ramos in the second of the Vitaphone cars.
What a fantastic sight these are.
Marcel Fessler in the yellow Corvette on the right of the picture there, side by side with the Maserati, and if the chief starter is happy, the flag will wave and we'll be racing at Adria. It's a bit of a mixture there on the grid, but I think we've got to go. 26 cars, £15 million worth, 10,000 horsepower, and it's just 15 metres wide here. Already they're touching and banging as they go into turn one, and the GT2 pack streaming round behind them. A very busy and a fairly brutal start for some of the people in that pack, Graham.
Everyone seems to have survived though in this grid order still as they circle around this tight left-hander for the first time. Christophe Bouchieu running a little bit wide there. The Gigaway Vafton looking to get a nose up on the inside, not able to make it stick as we go on car, get it from the track view. What a fantastic sight that is.
Looking back at the Celine from on board with Philip Peter, a little bit of brake dust and tyre smoke there, and I think he may have just been snapped up by the Celine. No, he's held it together. And they're all shuffling around having a look, but I think, as you say, it's still grid order, no changes. As they come past the camera, such a busy track. You can see dust in the background over there. That will be a feature of this race. It's very dusty offline and just on the edges of the track. It doesn't necessarily mean anything's gone wrong.
No, the battle we were looking at there between Fabrizio Gollin and Carl Wendlinger, there is the Gigawave car, and right in the thick of everything straight away, the car behind the Celine, number 7, tells how close this battle is, how well matched these two cars are under race conditions.
Well, Emmanuel Collard very quick in anything, exceptionally quick in the 997, and he's seen it all before, of course, as Emmanuel Collard. Jimmy Bruni, as we were saying, vastly experienced, crest of the wave at the moment, and very much at one with his Ferrari, so you're seeing two drivers at the very top of their game here.
Just interesting to see from the in-car the different lines that these two cars sometimes take going through the same corner. The characteristics of the cars quite different.
Well, Collard's got to be driving defensively. Let's have a look at the lap times and see what the differences are. Almost identical on the stopwatch. Just the third place of decimals that differentiate these two cars.
Oh, fantastic in-car.
You can see,
looked at the time like a horrific accident and complaining just of a few bumps and bruises and a few stiff muscles. Fabrizio Gollin in the sister car, the same team, the GMAX sponsored in GT2. Oh, we've got another car pulled up. This is the Anthony Kumpen, the PK Motorsport Celine.
That looks like a mechanical off as well. I can't imagine that he would end up there at the tail end of a spin. I think he's pulled it off out of the way, and he's not going to get very far pushing like that, is it? We shouldn't be laughing. It's been a disastrous start to the year for them.
The GT2 battle rages on, however, and we're on board now with Jimmy Bruni, still looking at nothing but the back of that Porsche.
Bruni, 27 years old, comes from Rome, a few miles down the road from here. As we've been saying, he's on the crest of a wave. He's a recent Le Mans winner. He's full of confidence, but there's not much he can do about this obstinate Frenchman in front of him. Emmanuel Collard continues to lead GT2 from Bruni, and in third place is the ever cheerful Thomas Biaggi. Up at the front of the field, don't forget, Bertolini leads Marcel Fassler by a narrow margin, and then in third place is the Jet Alliance Aston Martin of Carl Wendlinger.
Affiancati alla parabolica con Bruni leggermente avanti e 40.
Entertaining, but he takes it very seriously. That's a team that's always been looking for strategic advantage. They always think about their racing and do it with a great deal of application, but as he said, tricky time for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Fabio Babini locking horns at the moment with Tim Mullen in the number 55 CR Scuderia car, and Davide Rigon we've seen come into the pits, a local driver based in Venice. This the top three, the Porsche sandwiched now between the two AF Corsa Ferraris, which was the grid order. We're back on board with Babini, still chasing after Tim Mullen.
Well, Fabio Babini is a bit down the order. There he is, as Stuart said, in the Sky Sandwich. But we've got some signs up on our information board here that says Alexandre McGraw go to the race director, and car 51, which is the third place AF Corsa Ferrari, has crossed the white line at the exit to turn 1. They penalise people for that, and this is a routine pit stop, I believe, for the number 7.
That was
Greg Franke.
Greg Franke handing over to Vincent Voss, coming out of 6th place when they stopped.
Vincent Voss, of course, has been around the park a few times, hasn't he?
Oh yes, indeed. The Belgian driver has had a great deal of success in GT racing, both in GT1 and in GT2. First season, as far as I know, for him, though, in a Saleen. Just kicking up the dust again, and look at the line taken there by Babini, quite different from the cars ahead. Running out that little bit wider to slingshot through as they come across the line to start yet another lap. 23 already completed by the leader, Andrea Bertolini.
Just going through there is the black and white Corvette, the number 3 car with Christophe Bouchou at the wheel, picking his way through the GT2s. He's currently in 5th place. It's Bertolini, Fassler, Wendlinger, Golin and Bouchou 1 to 5. And the gaps are still very... The late evening sun is shining
there, and each time they turn into the corners, he's just edging that wee bit close to the Aston Martin, maybe not turning in quite as sharply as it was in the earlier stages. Here's Colin coming alongside again. He's got the inside line, just clipped by the Aston on the way through, and Collins into the gravel. Can he keep it going? Can he keep the momentum of the wheels turning, get him?
Oh dear, and that's the 33 car, that's Ryan Sharp, and he's parked it, as you can see, it looks like just past the entrance to pit lane. That's almost on the start-finish straight, and we do have an issue there for him, and that is, what a shame. They've been doing so well, they won at Silverstone, and that's the end of the story for them.
This will be one of those when we get a word with Carl Bentley and say it was perfectly alright when I handed it over.
Yeah, nothing wrong with him, I gave it to him. Oh dear, that is Lucas Lick de Hoya, not the most. They're blocking the pit lane entrance with the other car. Oh, this is absolutely not what Jet Alliance need. Is there room to squeeze through? Just about.
That's not the smuttest piece of work you've seen ever, is it, Richard?
This is why the rulebook says thou shalt not go backwards in the pit lane. But anyway, while they're having their problems, and they clearly are having problems, let's find out how our team of the week has been doing. That's Scooter, the racing line and the entry into turn one. We've got 4 minutes left of this first hour of racing, and the midsummer sun, it is the summer solstice, very much so here at Adria in Italy, is setting over the rooftops away to our right, and twilight is falling around the circuit. This is the most difficult time of the day for the drivers.
As far as the number 2 cars had problems, the number 1 Maserati has had a flawless race so far. Michael Bartel's doing the duty at the moment. What a sight that is.
Well, this is what we really like about this circuit and this race. It's the only one, apart from the Spa 24 hours, that goes on all night, which takes us into darkness.
Lovely work from our cameraman getting the mood of the evening here. There's something very special about racing these cars into the darkness.
Speaking about mood, what about Michael Bartel's mood? He was pacing, striding up and down the pit lane. He's in the car now and he's taking out all his frustrations on the racetrack. He's 45 laps into it. He's 1.7 seconds ahead of Jean-Denis Delatraz, who's third. Hazeman in the number 6 G-Mac Corvette is third, I beg your pardon. Delatraz second is 5 seconds further back. It's still very close at the top, Graham.
Yeah, and a Celine in 4th place, and Vincent Voss driven number 7 Labra competition. Celine really holding up well. They didn't show that strongly in practicing qualifying, but in race trim they seem to have something going for them, and it's Xavier Marson behind them in 5th.
And this is the GT2 battle. Tony Villand has taken over the number 50 car, and after the pit stops have settled down, he's in the lead of GT2 from Richard Westbrook, who has taken over the 61 Pro Speed Porsche from Emmanuel Collard, and he's now 8 seconds behind Vilander, and that's roughly, I think, where it went in. So status quo, situation normal. Christian Montanari in the 51 AF Corsa car is third. Then it's David Rigon, Paolo Roberti, Jamie Davis in the 62 car.
Yeah, Christian Montanari there looking to put a lap on Fabrizio Del Monte in the 57 car, and there's a fabulous in-car picture of the sunset on the screen of the Ferrari there.
All the cars with onboard cameras have also got a camera looking back for them. That's their rear view mirror. It's not, they're not watching a DVD while they go around, or Coronation Street or anything like that. That is their rear view, and you can see the sun setting over the Adria circuit. That's the Celine you were talking about.
That's
we haven't seen a Celine up at the front at all this year.
And Xavier Marson is doing his very best there he is in the black and white Corvette, just ducking out of the slipstream of the 7 car to let him know, I am on your case, young man. Vincent Voss is going to be hounded by Xavier Marson. The young Dutch driver has come into the series this year and really already made his impression.
Well, that's the situation at the moment. Bartels, Delatraz and Hazeman, 1, 2, 3. and still following him round as the sun disappears over the horizon. There's no floodlights here at Adria. What you're seeing is the last of the daylight.
Xavier Marson is next up, but we're looking at the battling pair of Aston Martins in 5th and 6th places, and it's Alan Simonson in the lead car of these two, just ahead of Lucas Lickner-Hoyer in the remaining Jet Alliance car. Remember, Ryan Sharp's car is now out with a transmission failure. No such woes for the 36 car, however, now storming around and trying to get on terms with Alan Simonson. Just half a second between these two last time through the timing beams. Simonson new to GT1 racing, but certainly no stranger to GTs per se, and settling into this Gigawave team very quickly indeed.
As we said, Gigawave have settled into GT1 racing very quickly indeed. Hard to believe it, but this is their 3rd race in the championship, and they've been in contention every time, carrying a bit of ballast. This is another car with 40 kilos on it. I heard what Christophe Bouchou said around here, that's like having 80 kilos in the car. It really is difficult, so that makes this 5th place really quite strong indeed.
Absolutely. If there's one place you would have chosen not to have such ballast to carry around, it's got to be here at Adria, where everything is all about acceleration and braking, and both of those are heavily compromised by the extra weight that these success ballasts are bringing to the cars.
And you can see just how hard they are braking. The carbon discs inside those front wheels lighting up every time they get near a corner. Look at that front wheel, that is temperature being dissipated, and that number 10 Aston Martin is having to do it harder than the 36 car behind. And just to prove it, Lucas Lickner-Hoyer is the man in 36. He's not the quicker of the two drivers in that car. Certainly that is Alex Muller. So you know if he's pressuring the number 10 car of Alan Simonson, then he's got an advantage.
Absolutely, lapping within a tenth of each other, so there's no let up for Alan Simonson. He's just got to soak all this up throughout this stint. I can't see immediately that Lickner-Hoyer has a way through unless Simonson makes a mistake, and at the last count I don't remember him making mistakes.
No, they've looked very, very slick indeed all through the 3 rounds. Well, 2.5 at the moment. We've still got 48 minutes left on the clock. And don't forget, that means we've also got another round of pit stops to deal with. That is the man masterminding the effort on the pit wall there. Nigel Stepney's made some very clever calls in the mixed conditions we had at Silverstone and at Monza. He gave them the position they've got in the championship, and the team has risen to the occasion. Both the drivers have been doing really well.
We're looking at the Aston Martin battle. We've been having a look at Corvettes lately as well. In 2nd place, the number 5, just hanging on to the coattails of Michael Bartels in the number 1.
Just getting headlight glow into the camera. It's hard to pick them out.
With the Aston ahead had to do to make rubber. It's looking very close, and there's old contact there between.
Big contact.
Is that going to be a catch or a lose?
It's a catch. No, it's not.
Christian Arcos just not quite hanging on to the tail-happy number 55 car. His team, the CR Scuderia,
really in the wars. I thought there was a pass in the making here between these two, but we got away with it when we cut back to that, so they're still nose to tail. I'd like to see that Ferrari on Ferrari contact again before I make a judgment about exactly what occurred there, but I think my first instinct is racing incident there.
Yes, I think you might be right, and it looked like the Kessel Racing car that was caught up. The Gigawave crew equally looking up at their monitors in the garage to see that Alan Simonson has managed to stay ahead for a further lap, and still behind him poor old Lucas Lickner-Hoyer trying everything he knows and then something he hasn't thought of to try and get round this number 10 Gigawave car.
Well, of course, what he wants is a little bit of traffic and a little bit of confusion on the part of Simonson, and that might give him an advantage. Blue flags waving again.
A curb hopping Richard Westbrook there, we thought, just coming into shot, and this is the battle for the lead of GT2. It's Tony Vielander in the 50 car, and it looks as though Westbrook's closed right down on him, and behind it's Bartels coming to lap the pair off.
Well, this is interesting, the GT2 battle and the GT1 leader. Bartels wants past because Delatraz is 1.7 seconds behind him. The blue flags are waving, telling the GT2 boys to get out of the way. But they are not going to move, are they? They've got a race of their own. They're going to do nothing that might spoil that for them. Bartels up the inside.
And this is exactly what Richard Westbrook will be wary of, having that car get between them for a corner or two, and allowing, of course, a Ferrari to make a break.
Well, Bartel's done exactly that.
Just threads the needle between the two of them, but now he's caught behind the AF Corsa for a car for at least this one long corner, and it'll only be when he can stamp on the power again that he can squeeze his way past, and the battle between the Ferrari and the pursuing Porsche can resume. And in the mix of all of that, of course, comes a number 5 car as well. We've got the Corvette now wanting to make his way through past the GT2 leading battle so he can get back on terms with Michael Bartels. This is what sports car racing is all about, Richard.
Absolutely, this is GT2 and GT1 battle on screen right in front of you, and the two GT2 cars are going to let that number 5 of Delatraz through as soon as they can, but as we say, not if it disadvantages either of them, so they'll choose their moment. And we've got Westbrook looking for an opportunity to get past. It's Bartels, Delatraz and Haseman in GT1, and it is Vilander, Westbrook we're riding with, and Montanari in GT2.
Quite the other way round. In comes the Porsche, the number 61 we were talking about. This is for a routine stop, however, no attention to that headlight. They're not allowed to do anything with it at the moment while they're refueling, other than what they are, which is to change the
Yes, we can see
screen. They're working on the headlight now. This is what was being shown to us by the officials, timing and scoring people, to alert us to the fact that they were aware of it. They're taping over one of the connections to try and get the headlight to resume working. It's not doing so at the moment, however. There it is. They've got it. They've got it going. Strap it up in place and put the cover back on. That's cost them time, though, and time in GT2 is worth money, and it's not going to be easy for them to regain the amount of time they've lost here in pit lane, Richard.
20 seconds on the stopwatch. But not really.
No, I think that one's probably settled for now. We've just got under 3 3/4 minutes to run, so a couple of laps, and this is going to be the battle as we're looking at the GT2 leader, Jimmy Bruni. Thomas Biaggi still following up.
Well, he is closing in on his teammate, but Mike Haseman is clear at the front.
Mike, you didn't seem too happy in the pits there. What's been happening?
No, we had to change in 16 seconds. And he went in and he couldn't get the belt. He had 5 times to get the belt. And we tried so many times. And after he got the belt done, because they already changed the tires, he couldn't get the steering on. So we lost like 7-8 seconds. And normally if the others wouldn't have a problem, we would have been third. So now we are lucky. But yeah, that's why I was sick.
So hopefully a lucky finish. Thank you.
Mike Haseman always cheerful, but Gigawave might not be. Our timing screen says that car 10 may be on fire, so we'll go looking for that, because that will be an interesting thing this late in the race. We've got 2.5 minutes on the race timer and there is the race leader, 10 seconds to the good over Andrea Bertolini. Marcel Fassler's now 2.3 seconds away. He's been closing the gap, but he isn't going to do it in 2.5 minutes. Bruni, Biaggi, Ruberti, and the gap between Ruberti and Biaggi is 1.5. I think that one's settled as well.
Just goes to show that the chase is never given up until the race is over and the checkered flag falls. It was a slow lap from Bertolini and a quicker one from Fassler that contributed to that. So if that happens again, and it may just all be down to traffic, then there's no reason why Fassler couldn't be right up on the tail for a real grandstand finish on the final lap.
Well, we are 2 minutes away from a checkered flag. There is not much time for anything to change, but as you say, Graham, it's such a short, tight circuit, and the race leader just coming out onto the front straight about now. So will be, what, 2 laps, I think, before the end of the race. That's the Gigawave team looking at our screen because they just got a glimpse of their car in the picture. I can't see a fire on there anywhere.
No, yes, it's on the left front, probably just an overheated brake component has
which is on fire.
Caught fire underneath there.
Well, you can't help thinking that Philip Peter can make that last another minute and a half. I think that we are going to get another lap out of this because the race leader's already well into this lap. So I think we may well be on our penultimate lap here. So he's got to make 2 circuits around Adria, and it's fine now, isn't it?
Well, yes, I think it's just the angle that the camera caught it at. We couldn't actually see the fire in the wheel arch there. It may just be that it's blown itself out in the meantime, but that won't at this moment concern Philip Peter at all. He'll carry us on as though nothing's happened, as will this man, Fabrizio Gollin, at the head of the field by nearly 12 seconds. The gap from Fassler up to Bertolini is down, reduced again, but only again by a couple of tenths. Richard, he's shaving bits off, but it's not going to be enough to make the catch and pass. No,
it's not, and I'm sure that Fabrizio Gollin is going to arrive on the front straight with seconds remaining on the timer. He will have to do one more lap, and I think that the brake dust, I'm sure it was on fire in that wheel arch of the number 10 car, has gone out now. There you go, he's off on his final lap now. 96 laps will be the total, and he's on lap 96 now. Bertolini third, Fassler is third, Bouchou, and this is really important for the championship for Christophe Bouchou to hang on to that 4th place from Greg Frankie, who's just 0.2 of a second behind him. Bruni, Biaggi, Ruberti, Babini is the running order in GT2, so that seems fairly stable now. That's Mike Hazeman, that's his father Toyner walking past the camera there. They're waiting to welcome a well-deserved win from the number 6 car. Pretty good team result as well.
Absolutely great stuff by the Phoenix team with their GMAX sponsorship. They're delighted to have got the win under their belts, I'm sure. Here is the leading car just coming through the last few turns onto the start-finish straight to make that dream come true for them. Mike Hazeman will be delighted to see his 3rd place for Marcel Fassler as well. They'd love the 1-2, couldn't quite happen, but 1 and 3 I'm sure will do for them.
And Andrea Bertolini, after everything they've been through, here Michael Bartels will definitely be pleased with 2nd place, because who would have bet on that midway through this race? Who would have bet on the Corvettes being 1st and 3rd? But there it is, checkered flag for Fabrizio Gollin. Hazeman on the ball there, waving him across. Don't get down, Michael, there's one more car to come. We're waiting for the number 1 Maserati, and then it'll be the number 5. Half an hour, but I'd quite forgotten it started in daylight. Here's the result we've just been looking at after 2 hours of racing. 9 seconds between 1st and 2nd place, 12 seconds back from the leader, Delatraz in 3rd place with Marcel Fassler, and then it's Bouchou and Masson doing a good championship job to bring that car home in 4th place. That was really important for them, and it, as you say, it keeps it wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah, and indeed, and a good drive too by the Peter and Simonson partnership, Philip Peter, Alan Simonson in the Gigawave car, doing their championship hopes no harm at all, either carrying the 40 kilos here but able to come home in the top 6 and